Hello and welcome back to the channel, How We Move the Decimal. In today's video, I have a cat walking across my light board. Dylan, bless his heart, super into it. He's left little wet paw prints. I'm like, ooh, I don't want to put slides on the wet paw prints. Because, yeah, I end up changing out the paper and putting new paper because wet paw prints. Bless Dylan's heart. These are Bell and Howell stacks, slide stacks. I got probably 10,000 plus slides in these stacks. Not like these 6, but blocks like this. I have never got slide blocks like this before, so it's kind of cool, and I think they'll work really nice to ship. I've decided to do 3 blocks at a time, and that's like roughly 150 slides-ish if they're full, so that's nice for me. I think it's like 60 slides a thing, if I can remember. The only downfall is these slides are absolutely not labeled at all. I have no idea what they are. I did go through them, not on this video, off camera, and separate them by year as much as I could, along with like theming, or the month and year, but otherwise I was very, very spoiled with my previous estate sale find that was really excruciatingly labeled to like the extreme, where these are very much not labeled, which is sad and makes my job harder. But with this, in today's video, I was going to talk about my returned item that I got this week. It was a very particular item that someone had bought from me and they returned it. They paid shipping both ways because I charged shipping, and the reason for returning it was they just didn't want it anymore. Here's the thing that gets kind of sketch and like put my feelers up to begin with. When they were tracking the item, I noticed it was being shipped first class. There's no way this thing could be shipped first class. It was a very heavy item. I shipped it inside a box, inside a padded flat rate. It weighed 3 pounds, so it could not have been shipped first class. I went and picked it up at our P.O. box because that is where I have everything shipped to, and it was so light. Like, I could have tossed this around and juggled it. So light. It was not the 3-pound item. But because it was seen as returned and delivered, eBay automatically refunded them. Granted, they did not get their shipping refunded either way because how they chose to say it. But this was not the item I shipped, and this item was close to $100. Did I pay $100 for it? No. Did I pay up for it? Yes. I had probably around $20 invested into this item, and what I got back was not this item. I contacted eBay, and they sided with the buyer. They still refunded them their money out of my profits, and there's nothing I could do about it. I was quite upset when I opened the box. I knew, and it was most definitely not the item I sent. It was very obviously not the item I sent. I contacted the buyer and they never got back to me, so I'm assuming like if it was a mistake, like, oh my gosh, you got the wrong return, I was returning somebody else, then it would have been like, hey, I'm so sorry, I accidentally sent you the wrong return, what was put in this box, and I'm trying to be vague on purpose, but what was put in this box was clearly not an item that was going to be returned to somebody else. And it was very clearly not my item either. And honestly, if they had packed my item the way they packed this item, I would have been very upset because it was damageable. And again, extremely heavy. So as soon as I picked the box up out of the P.O. box, I 100% knew that I did not get back what I'd shipped. There was just no way. And eBay sided with the buyer, so I just had to eat it. So I lost roughly $20 in all of it. It could have been worse. The buyer could have, filed an INAD, and I would have had to pay for shipping both ways, and then I would have lost everything. I would have lost the $20 I had into it, and then I would have lost about $20 in shipping on top of that because of the padded flat rate. So I would have lost 40 some dollars had they filed an INAD. So I guess I should be lucky that they didn't file an item not as described and they just said they changed their mind. But this is a very specific niche item, so for them to change their mind would have been they would have found something else just like it, and there was nothing else currently listed on eBay like that. And it's not something you'd buy by accident. Granted, they did buy around the Christmas holiday, so maybe they bought it as a present and changed their mind. So I didn't think anything. January is a month of returns. We do get a lot of returns in January, return requests for like presents and stuff that didn't go well, or items that were given as gifts and they tried on and they didn't fit. So, but it was very unfortunate. And this is the first time I've blatantly received something I did not sell. I have received items back that were broken, that the individual had broke, or were watched or read. So I've sold like brand new, I almost said VHSs, brand new DVDs and stuff that were opened when I got them back. And it's part of the 30-day return policy. We can only do so much, which is very, very unfortunate. And I don't know, the buyer didn't have negative feedback, but you can't give buyers negative feedback. It wasn't like, great buyer, wish I would have got my item back, because sometimes people will enter negative feedback as positive feedback for buyers. And the buyer, it was like prompt payment, good buyer, and that's like the automatic feedback you get after someone buys anyway. But I was 100% taken. I totally lost my item. I lost all future profits from the item, and I'm out $20. Could have been a whole lot worse. I'm trying to think of the bright side of this, but it was really rough. And the thought of, what it would take to pull that off is kind of sad. But I hope you stay and look at the video or the photos I've scanned and have a wonderful day.